Hello, so this is just going to be a quick little video for all the people who are asking questions sort of that get asked over and over and over again on streams about when might lockdown end or whatever. So what I'm going to do is do a idea of what might happen, and this is going to be across various countries. Obviously I'm not going to focus it on the UK. It's looking at what sort of things might happen. So basically the issue is with coronavirus and everything like that is that basically what they're trying to do is get the lockdown manageable, or the social isolation, social distancing type stuff manageable, to the point where your health system doesn't become overwhelmed and lots of people wouldn't die from it because there's a lack of hospital beds, ventilators, other hospital treatments or medical treatments for various other things. So that's the general idea why you're having a lockdown, why certain shops are closed, certain businesses are closed, you're not meant to go out and meet friends. It's to slow down the rate of infection, so therefore the medical system doesn't collapse. That's the straightforward bit. Now, the more difficult question is how would lockdown be lifted? And that's where it's very difficult, because it relies on a lot of factors. Now, some countries may just very well say, we've had enough of lockdown or whatever, we're just full going back to the way things were. Issue is, if you do that, you'll get a massive spike in cases, a second wave. And when that happens, lots of people will become infected and die, and you start with the problem all over again. The other complete opposite scenario is that you keep locked down pretty much forever until a vaccine can be given to everybody. Issue is with that could be years away, and it would completely wreck your economy in the period of waiting for it. Now, a big thing lots of people talk about is, whereabouts does the damage caused by lockdown get worse than the damage caused by the virus? So what this is referring to essentially is that if you have lockdown go on too long, it causes so much economic damage and potentially social damage that people will live shorter lives because of, the financial damage and poverty caused by having an extended lockdown. So what most countries will probably end up doing is essentially doing a thing where they sort of ease lockdown and then tighten it as they need to. So it might mean certain jobs can open, but people have to work certain hours or can't use public transport, or masks have to be worn on public transport. And the idea of all these measures is that they can ramp up and release kind of pressures with the lockdown to try to not have an overburdened health system, but at least keep some of the economy going. Obviously, rules are currently different in lots of countries in terms of how strict they are, or what businesses are currently forced to close or advised to close or not closed. So obviously, I don't have a crystal ball. I can't tell you what governments around the world are going to do. But I think most nations that are sensible will do one of the middle things, as in ease ease tension and sort of put more pressure on as and when they need to try and keep, hospital systems from being overwhelmed. And obviously, the thing we all want is a vaccine to come about that's completely safe to take. It means you can never get coronavirus, but that might be a very long time off if one even gets developed. So basically, yeah, that's the scenario I think you're going to find in most countries, that maybe not all of them, maybe some of them will go to each extreme, which could be very damaging, but I think for most countries it is simply going to be a case of play it by ear, basically restrict and tighten lockdown kind of and social distancing based on what's going on with the virus and when economic stuff might become too much of a problem. So it's a balancing act, and there's no good answers, I'm afraid, but that is basically the answer I think everybody wants, is when will we come out of lockdown? Probably when certain criteria are met in each country, not on a magic date that could obviously change.